Hey guys, welcome back to She Became Me podcast, where we unlock pain, passion, and power. And today's episode is titled The Air I Breathed. And that guest today is Dee Smith. So I am your host, Lentina Rogers, and my co-host is
Hi
co-host
guys,
is
Ronieka
Ronieka.
Howell.
Okay, and today our guest is Dee Smith, and Dee is
Hi,
coming in now. Hey Dee, how are you?
I'm great and you?
Good.
Hi.
So today our episode is going to be about what's titled "The Air I Breathe," and this segment for this month is about what brings us fear and what makes us feel secure. So we're going to start off with Dee with telling us what some of the things that she's fearful about since she is a domestic abuse survivor. So she can kind of lead us in, Dee, with what were some of the things that made you stagnant in those type of relationships that brought fear and kind of put you in a position that you stayed in a relationship too long.
Well, I had been in a relationship for about 4 years. Um, I was not a actual physical abuse, but it was
Okay.
more verbal and mentally abuse. Um, I felt like the person that I was with, I could change him. He said that he wanted to be changed. He wanted to change his ways. So me being a kind-hearted person, I felt, hey, okay, I can help him with that. And I went through so much. Um, and the verbal abuse, thinking, hey, okay, he's trying to change. He was like, he explained it to me as it's like he's taken, when you take 10 steps up, sometimes you'll fall back 2 steps. So me giving him a second chance all the time, stayed around, but I didn't realize how I was being mentally broken down. It was affecting not only my personal self, but it was also affecting my job.
Right.
Um, and any relationship that I had, like with my family or friends or anything like that, he basically wanted all my attention. He didn't want me around my family. He didn't want me around friends, and it went on for a while.
Yeah, so some of these things are common, that I hear when I hear women speak about these types of relationship, these type of relationships, and especially the mental and emotional part. So, what are some of the things that you done to like to start moving forward to get out of the relationship?
Um, well, one of the things that I did was I actually have two little ones.
Hmm.
I have like two sets of kids. So I have two little ones. I have a 7-year-old and a 6-year-old. My
Okay.
7-year-old, I actually left with my sister because I knew with her, it was kind of affecting her too because she was older.
Right.
So she seen some of the stuff I was going through.
Hmm.
So I had to make a choice that in order for me to move on, she was already with my sister for the summer. So I told my sister, I said,
Right.
hey, can you keep her there? Put her in school. My 6-year-old at the time, he wasn't in school. He was just in pre-K daycare,
Right. Right.
So I knew with him, if I decided to leave, I didn't have to worry about pulling him actually out of school, and that'd be a whole nother situation. So the first thing I did was to contact my sister, say, hey, look, I'm getting ready to leave, but I got to put my wheels in motion. I got to get
Right.
everything settled. So I literally gave her to them, not legitimately, but left my daughter,
Temporarily. Yeah.
temporarily. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I started having to do stuff like as far as getting like putting money up, trying to save money. And like he would ask me, he'd be like, hey, are you paying this bill? And I'd be like, hey, I don't have enough. I had to pay other bills that I had.
Right.
And so I had to start stacking money. And then I literally went like online and I started, because I knew the job that I had, I wasn't going to be able to afford an apartment
Hmm.
myself. So I started putting in applications for Section 8. And I applied any and everywhere at that point in time. I
Okay.
didn't care if I didn't have family there or what, but I started putting in applications because I got to the point where I was just fed up and I was ready to leave. So
Okay.
yeah, so that was some of the steps that I put in, and I told my job too. I was like, look, I'm not going to be here that long, and I got to the point where I was able to transfer my job. So I end up getting a job where I could leave, and it actually paid more doing the same thing that I was doing there. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Right. Okay.
Dee, what were some things that are some challenges as far as you making up in your mind that you wanted to go, but was there ever a time where you felt like that you were, was there something that held you there that you were afraid of, that you were not going to be able to succeed on your own once you left?
Like I said, I basically, I knew that I wasn't making enough financially, and it was at the point where I felt like I didn't want to get somewhere and then not be able to financially support my children, you know?
Yeah.
And the fact too, like, I had to really encourage myself that if I did get approved for Section 8 somewhere and I didn't have family there, that I can do it, you know, that I basically had to boost myself. And that's what actually ended up happening. I ended up getting approved. I moved. I did move out, and I moved out. I actually had moved back here to Indianapolis with my sister now. And 2 weeks after I moved here, I got approved for Section 8 in Knoxville. I had no family in Knoxville. I had one friend from high school that actually lived there. So he helped me find a place to stay that was in a decent neighborhood that the kids could go to school at and stuff. But yeah, that was one of my biggest fears, was that, you know, I did love him. And it was the point of, I had to basically tell myself that I was doing what was best for me and my children. And then I had to basically boost myself up that I would financially be able to be okay, you know, with what I was doing, the decision I was making.
Okay. So, fast forward, so you left and you started your own company called Designs by D'Marie, where you do custom t-shirts, I hear shower curtains, matching tiles, you name it, you can customize it, right? Okay,
Correct.
Tell us a little bit, how did you find the courage and the strength to start that business? We saw that you got out, start believing in yourself, and you got an LLC.
Well, Corona hit. And at the time I was working in a call center. And during that time of me working in the call center, I also end up having to take medical leave because I have hydronitis. I might not say this right, hydronitis septirosa, but it's kind of like where you get cysts. And so that kind of was affecting me because sometimes when I have a flare up, I can't move my arms all the time. So the dermatologist, put me on medical leave. Well, I'm like, okay, my job doesn't pay for medical leave. So I had to do something. So I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm always making stuff for people. People are always asking me, hey, can you make this t-shirt for me for my birthday? Or, hey, can you make up a gift basket for me? Or I was always coming up with little stuff, decorating my own house and everything. So, I thought about it. I said, hey, I can make this into a business. So then it was coming up with the name. And then I said, something that would incorporate everything that I do. Because I don't just do t-shirts. I don't just do bathroom sets. I do it all. So you name it, I might try it. So, so it kind of pushed me. And I said, you know what? I started seeing my business pick up more and more. So I was like, you know what? Let me look into making this an LLC, and how do I go about the process of doing it and everything. And as soon as I did it, it was like I had so many people behind me, as far as family members, friends from out of state was ordering stuff. They were pushing me. They were like, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do this? And so it kind of went up from there. So yeah.
Okay, I see it worked all the way out.
Oh yeah.
So
Yes,
some
yes.
so so what are some of the things that makes you feel secure now? Um, versus, the fear that you was facing, and what are some things that make you feel secure?
Well, one of the things that makes me feel secure is now knowing that I have something financially to fall back on. It
Okay.
may not always be good days and having your own business and everything
Right.
like that, but I know that, somewhere down the line, somebody's going to need something. And usually with me advertising myself, where it be social media or I try to advertise myself anywhere I go, so I'm passing
Mm-hmm.
out business cards, I'm passing out little flyers that I've created myself and everything.
Okay.
Or either I have on, or a lot of times I'll wear stuff that I've made, and
Right.
people say, hey, where'd you get that mask from? Or hey, where'd you get that
Yeah.
t-shirt from? Or even my kids wear something that I've made them, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's cute. Where'd they get that from?" I'm like, "Oh, I made that for them." So it they say the best way for business is word of mouth, and that's
Yes.
usually how it is. So now I've
Definitely.
got to that point where I don't feel like I have to worry about where I'm gonna get my next paycheck from, or if I'm gonna be able to go to this job, or anything, or I don't have to worry about if I need this man to help me,
Right.
do
Yeah.
something. So that's one of the biggest things. Um, and I think as far as like with relationships, the relationship that I'm in now, we've been friends for a long time. um he's always been there without me knowing that he was there,
Okay.
and I think we started off slow.
Yes.
It wasn't a big rush into things, and the thing
Right.
too with him is he's more family oriented because he's actually had custody of his 4 kids and he's raised them by himself as a single father.
Okay.
He also owns 2 businesses of his own. So that kind of helps me with my business because he'll tell me, hey,
Okay.
try doing this. And he pushes me as far as, my goals that I see him at. And he's forever telling me, stop being so kind hearted, stop being so free. He's like, you can't tell everybody what you got going. And I guess that's one of the things, because I used to get so excited that I call people and I'd be
Yes.
like, hey,
Yes.
I'm thinking about doing this, or hey, I got this design that I think I'm gonna do, and he said,
Yeah.
stop doing that, he said, because it's so much competition out there in the
Yeah.
world,
Yes.
and you're thinking that you're being nice, telling them, hey,
Right.
this is what I'm doing, and they can go behind your back and steal your ideas and stuff,
Right. And
so I guess
put it out before you get it out.
Right.
right. So and that kind of helped me too, because like he's not what my last relationship was like.
Right.
It's I don't get the narcissisticness from him. It's
Okay.
more of a, hey, it's all about you. How are you feeling? Are you okay
Okay.
with this? And that kind of helped me out a lot because I wasn't used to that. So at first it scared me, because I'm like, wait
Right.
a
Right.
minute,
Right.
but it kind of helped a lot too, because now I don't feel like, because I've had other guys try to talk to me, and I would back away from them because I would see some of those same things from the last relationship,
Yes.
from that domestic violence relationship, and I don't care if it was just something that they was doing, it brought me back to that.
Right.
So I had to kind of take it and kind of go, and I would go into my shell, so this didn't
Right.
do that. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
great. Sound like you had a great support now, and that definitely will bring
mhm,
make a person feel secure when you
mhm,
have a person that you can rely on, like that's in your
mhm,
life. So, okay, well, I'm glad that everything is working out for you. But I
Yes.
also want to give
mhm,
Dee a shout out to. She also customized when she became me face masks.
Mhm.
Some of the ones we gave out to our guests last month, and actually some that we have that we wear as well. So we just started putting out the call for He Became Me, for writers for the He Became Me book or anthology. And DR also made a He Became Me mask as well.
mhm,
I want to
Nice.
put that out too, since
mhm.
we're working on that, so
Thank you.
people can
Thank
see
you.
some of your work. I'll kind of put
Okay.
that with it. So also, I just want to say to our audience, I hope they are able to enjoy our virtual new format. There we in
Mhm.
now, so this is safe for us. Everybody's able to
Yay.
be
Mhm.
more comfortable. We don't have to worry about being in the same room. So this is great. This is good. So hoping our audience is enjoying us, in this format as well. So, you got any more questions for Dee, Roneika, or we
Yes,
can move on?
I do. I
Okay,
just
good.
wanted to. I had read that that your goal is focused on helping others to overcome their
Mhm.
obstacles, and so I just wanted to ask if there is someone that helped you overcome your obstacles. Someone that did
Um,
someone do that same thing for you?
Not really. Um, well, I can't say that. I think my
Mhm.
sister, and she's not a blood sister, but
Okay.
I have a couple of sisters that I've been around them for so long. Like the one that actually they've taken over my daughter. But her name her and her wife Tia, they've been by my side through everything. So I can't say that they've helped me through a lot because they were that shoulder to cry on. They were that if you need anything, we got your back. When I actually had to come back here to Indianapolis to stay, I was right at their house. Between them and my friend Felicia, I'll go from house to house, but
Mhm.
so I can't say that they helped me.
Okay.
They were that, hey, you need to do this, or hey, you need to do that, or hey, why don't you try this, or whatever you decide, we've got your back.
Right.
So they probably were the ones that helped me out. Along with I did go through counseling
Okay.
that helped me out. I was nervous at first because I was like, okay, people don't think I'm crazy. I say I'm going to counseling,
Right.
but it actually helps. It
Oh
helped
yes.
because I was able to shed a lot of tears. I was able to get aside a voice in it from somebody that doesn't actually know or won't actually just take my side in it. They
Right.
could see, kind of the perspective, and they were the actual ones who told me, hey, this is domestic violence that you're going through, because I never would have thought that somebody being narcissistic in a relationship and stuff was considered domestic violence.
Yes.
When I hear the word domestic violence, I think of physical abuse,
Right.
and I've
Right.
had people that I've coworkers that I've worked with that actually were in, domestic violence where they had the physical abuse. And, and I've told them before, I'm like, hey, I know you're not going to leave until you're ready to leave,
Right.
but I never would have thought, hey, I'm in a domestic violence relationship,
Mhm.
because I just thought, hey, he's talking to me all crazy,
Right.
or,
Right.
I'm not good enough. And that's how I felt. I felt like I wasn't good enough, for him, that everything I was doing, it was never good enough, because
Right.
it wouldn't be, hey, Dee, you did a good job today, or hey, I see you cooked dinner and dinner was great. It would always
Right.
be that but, after it and stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, so they helped me out, but counseling helped out so much too. Just having somebody just to talk to, a listening
Mhm.
ear, a shoulder to cry on, or whatever. So
Okay.
Well, kudos to you for stepping out and finding the
Yes.
courage to seek counseling, because as we know, this is an ongoing problem in the Black community that, culturally,
mhm,
we tend to not want to go to counseling for anything. So
Right.
that was
mhm,
huge. And,
mhm, mhm.
hopefully if there's somebody listening to your story, that you was able to convince them that that would be the best thing to do. So what
Mhm.
we're gonna do now is the part of our show that's called She Mail. So let me introduce you to She
She-Mail,
Mail this week.
she-mail.
So She Mail is the little mailbox we get where people send in their comments, concerns, and questions and get our opinion. So we like to involve the guests
Mhm.
as well. So we're going to get your opinion and
Okay.
your perspective of what the question when I pull it out. So I'm going to go in,
Okay.
pull out, shake this up, and get a little question here, and let's see. And then we all will give our opinion.
Okay.
So let's see what we got. Well, do you think women or men benefit the most from marriage? Do you think women or men benefit the most from marriage? Hmm.
Hmm.
So, which one do you think is benefiting the most from a marriage, a man or a woman? You want to try it? You want to tackle that first, D?
Well, I think the men benefit the most.
So,
And the reason why I say that is because of the fact that in a marriage, women, yeah, we get the nice weddings or the rings or whatever, and we get their last name, but we also get a lot of problems. Men, on the other hand, they get somebody who and each marriage is different. So
right,
I can't say it's
right,
all
right,
like this, but
right.
men have that stable person in their lives, and from my perspective of being around, I have a lot of male friends and I hear them talking all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them, when they are ready to settle down, they say they're ready because, or they marry their wife because this one is stable. This one
Yes.
gives them that balance and they equal them out. Or
Yeah.
they're basically like they're equally yoked. They're their yin to
Yeah.
their yang. So with that, with the woman being able to balance out a man, I think that the man is benefiting more because she got more headache.
Oh, you got a perspective, Roneika?
Yeah, I think that I mean I agree with what Dee is saying, but I believe that that a male or a female, they both benefit from a marriage, because you know, there's a lot of, like she said, the men that need to be balanced out, but there's a lot of women that need that same balance as well. um but I really think that the husband and the wife, that they both benefit from the actual marriage as a whole. So you have two individuals coming together and as one.
Right.
You have, two wholes coming together to make one.
Yes.
But I think that they should both balance and benefit from the actual
The
marriage.
marriage.
Now, does that happen always? No, but is it possible? I do believe that it is possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I agree pretty much with what you guys said. Um, I have two perspectives. One is I think the man benefits the most because in our society, the man decides when he wants to get married. The woman don't. He proposes to you, and of course, biblically, the man finds a wife. So we were designed to be, a helpmate,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much, where we was designed to be. But if you get the husband that's compatible to you, and he respects you and the way he should, then it will become a balance.
Yeah.
And then I think if he chooses a wife that is well compatible, even yoked or whatever for him, and he treat her like she should be treated, then they both will benefit. But I think a lot of times, and I'm just gonna say maybe 80% of the time,
Mhm.
the man is benefiting because he has someone cooking his meals, maybe washing his clothes. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking stuff like that and cleaning his house, taking care of his kids. But there are men, and I'm not just gonna say, all men are doing that. There are men that are, dividing the housework, washing dishes,
Yeah.
washing clothes, and they are really helping split that the chores and stuff in the house, and they didn't get married to just get a maid. So I just feel like women should just speak up and just make sure that somehow you got to find a way to balance it out so that
Mhm.
everybody's happy and feeling secure and supported in the marriage. So
That's good.
yeah, I mean, I guess if they can get there, I mean, but it starts off, I thinking that's sometimes some men
Yeah.
get into marriage thinking that's what they're getting, a maid.
Yeah.
So And sometimes mine don't last.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep. So I think we got time for one more she-mail. We'll
Okay.
do another one real quick. Well, that was pretty. That was a pretty good question.
It was.
That was a good
Okay, this one says, "What worries you the most about the future? What
one.
worries you the most about the future?" Hmm.
For me, just the not knowing of
Yeah.
what's up and around the corner. Like,
Yeah.
but then I think that if we were able to see or to get a glimpse of what is in front of us, then I
Hmm.
think that that would probably scare us
Yeah. That's
as
true.
well. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
trick question.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, D. You
With
can give
me,
a.
with me, I guess what worries me about the future is this whole coronavirus thing.
Yeah.
Because we know that it existed, but this is a whole new virus part of it.
Hmm.
And the thing is, they say they have a cure, but there's still people dying. If we have a cure,
Right.
then everybody
Right.
should be healing from it. And
Right.
I've had, matter of fact, my friend that I was saying helped me find a place in Knoxville. He
Mhm.
actually just recently passed on coronavirus.
Oh wow.
And it was
Sorry to
because
hear
he
that.
had other
Sorry.
illnesses. Thank you. So and he was still young, you know,
Right.
and it was a thing of he went to the hospital sick one day.
Hmm.
Everybody thought he'd be fine. And then next thing I
Right.
know, I got a call saying, and everybody was asking me, was I okay? Because they knew how close we were, like brother and sister, you know.
Right.
And everybody was asking me, was I okay? And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Yeah, I'm fine, you know. And so I guess that kind of scares me because they say, hey, this cure is supposed to be there, or this vaccination basically is
Right.
supposed to be the cure. And if it's the cure, why are the numbers going up still? Why are people
Right.
still, dying? And it's like, one minute they're saying, hey, these masks are helping. Next minute you got doctors saying, no, the masks don't help. So
Yeah.
I guess that kind of that worries me, because it's like, you never know. And then you have people that are asystematic,
Right.
and I may be one of those asystematic, I don't know. And then I go around some of my family, and then here it is, they come up sick and they don't know why.
Right.
But
Right.
I
Right.
never knew that I was asystematic,
Right.
Right.
So it's just, that's one thing that scares me about it.
Yeah. I think was what I'm worried about presently is the state of mind that people are in. Although the
Mhm.
pandemic has created a pressure and stuff like that, but the election
Mhm.
Mhm.
is this is
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
true.
election that I have witnessed where people are just so emotional
Mhm.
about who's going to be the president. Far as I can remember, of course, people had their picks or whatever, but it wasn't this emotional, this personal,
Mhm.
where people want to fight, they want to just promote violence,
Yeah.
and people are constantly saying what's going to happen if this person win and that person win. At the end of the day, it just worries me that people are just falling apart. The things that we need to do for each other,
Mhm.
we learned in kindergarten. How to be
Mhm.
kind, how to be nice, how to be friendly. Where did that stuff go? Because it's like they just threw it out the window.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
agree.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
Right,
hopefully,
right.
I'm just hoping people can get back on track and and find
Mhm.
themselves and their composure and just work through whatever happens. We
Mhm.
just got to work through it. It's just 4 years,
Yeah.
and hopefully whatever it is, we can recover.
Mhm.
If we lose a lot of things under one
Mhm.
administration, then hopefully that can be recovered in the next one. So that we know sometimes we just got to suck it up, but don't make sense to create violence and result in the name calling and neighbors and family and friends just falling out. So I'm just hoping that people can get back on track with that. So
Yeah.
well,
Mhm.
We was glad to have you today,
Yes.
Dee.
That was great being here.
And by the way, this is Dee Smith. You guys can look her up. If you're in need of any type of custom designs, she's your girl, and she's really fast. Let me tell you, when I placed that order, she was in Chicago and she was there like in 24 hours
Wow.
dropping my stuff off. So she is really quick. And the order was correct and everything was right. So
Great customer service.
yeah.
Yes.
So take the time to look her up if you need something done. And we really do appreciate you being candid and honest and sharing your story about being a survivor of domestic
Sorry, guys.
abuse. Lots of people need to hear that, that people make those choices and find the courage to get out. And so, once again, it's that time that we're going to say we'll see you next time. But
Yeah.
keep writing in to she became me 2020 at gmail.com. Keep sending your questions and concerns in. But until next time, we'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.